It's the weekend before signing day, and a surprise five-star recruit shows up in Tuscaloosa. This is probably an annual tradition for Bama fans at this point, but in this video, we're going to find out if Alabama is about to flip Ohio State five-star edge commitment Edric Houston. I got the great Andrew Bone here from BamaOnline to take us behind the scenes of what could be a huge signing day flip. But first, Bama fans, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We're here talking recruiting 365 days out of the year. We love it. You love it. Hit subscribe. All right, let's get it going. Andrew Bone from BamaOnline. And Andrew, Alabama is known for making these late runs at a five-star flip. Just look last year at Caden Proctor. Is Edric Houston a potential flip candidate this late in the season?
Well, I think with him showing up on campus this weekend, you can certainly say that he is a candidate. Now, the question is he going to flip away from Ohio State? And if he does flip, is it to Alabama or is it possibly to Clemson? He visited Clemson on Friday, but spent Saturday and Sunday spent Saturday in Tuscaloosa, ended up leaving early Sunday morning, traveled with one of his coaches. And there's always been high interest in Alabama. Alabama's been on the short list, was on the short list for Edric before he announced that commitment back in August. And we felt like Alabama always had a chance with him, but throughout the season, didn't really hear much going on between the two sides. Probably over the last 3 or 4 weeks, we started hearing a little bit of chatter that Alabama was still in contact. They were trying to get him on campus for a visit, and boom, they were able to get him on campus yesterday. So a big visit there. I don't know if it's going to be enough for Alabama to be able to flip him. There's always some surprises late in the process. You never know what might happen, but we know that the visit kind of took Ohio State a little bit off guard. I don't think the Clemson visit took him off guard, but the Alabama visit did. Mm-hmm. So it'll be an interesting couple of days. We spoke with one of his coaches this morning, and they said he has a top 2 right now. Wouldn't divulge any more on that. It said he's hoping to make a final decision over the next day or so.
Whew. Well, the thing with him is he's committed to Ohio State. Do you think this is down to location? Do you think he's maybe rethinking things here in the last minute? Because from Buford High School to Columbus, Ohio is a lot further than Buford High School to Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, we'd always kind of heard that location was going to be a factor in the decision. That probably started back in the spring and maybe even before that. That location was a significant factor for him. But then ends up going out to USC, Ohio State, went into the driver's seat, back in the late spring. And, it certainly didn't seem like location was that big of a factor for him. And then obviously ends up announcing for the Buckeyes, but maybe it is. Maybe it's starting to become a little bit of a concern. Maybe the family wants him to stay a little bit closer to home, or maybe not necessarily pressuring him to do that, but probably that might be the preference in the Houston household. So I think at the end of the day, they're gonna want him to make his own decision and be comfortable with it. So we'll see what that is.
All right. Well, Edric Houston was not the only flip target on campus in Tuscaloosa over the weekend. Running back Kevin Riley, who's committed to Miami, and also running back Jaden Baugh, they were both on campus too. Is there a preference now if they're going to flip one, or can they take them both, Riley and Baugh?
Yeah, they're both a little bit different type backs. Kevin Riley's 6 foot, 195 pounds. Jaden Baugh, 6'1", about 215. Alabama does not have a running back commitment right now. They would like to add 2 if they can. They certainly want to get 1, but if they can get those 2 guys, they would certainly take both of them. So I don't think there's necessarily a preference. It just comes down to, will they be able to flip them? You look at Jaden Baugh. This is a kid that's been committed to Arkansas for a while. Alabama and Florida have really been pushing hard for him over the course of the last several weeks. Alabama extended the offer back in early November, made a quick trip to Tuscaloosa, then ends up making the official visit. And, there's certainly some positive momentum for Alabama, but we've also heard the same thing with Florida. Florida feels like it's got a great chance with him. I would be surprised. I'd be surprised if he ends up sticking with Arkansas. I think that Alabama and Florida are probably the top 2 heading into the week. So we'll see how that all unfolds. And then with Kevin Riley, this is a kid. A lot of people probably think it's a slam dunk just because he's out of Tuscaloosa County high school. He committed to Miami back in the summer, which really took a lot of people by surprise, including Alabama. But the staff continuing to recruit him. They visited him a few times during the recruiting period this month. He's decided kind of at the last minute to take an official visit to Alabama. About a week ago, he said that he was shutting things down and was solid with the Hurricanes, but gave Alabama one last shot. So we'll see. Now, there is some chatter on the Miami boards that they may be able to flip Jordan Lyle, who's been committed to Ohio State since back in the spring. So does that potentially have an effect on Kevin Riley? We'll see, but I know that Miami's still continuing to press hard to try to keep Riley in its class, but Alabama's right there, and they are certainly trying to get him as well. And we know that family's right there at home. They'd love him to stay right there in Tuscaloosa.
All right, well, we're just days away from National Signing Day, and Alabama has some flips on the horizon. Andrew Bone from BamaOnline, thank you for dropping by the Inside Scoop, breaking it all down for us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.